everyone, and welcome on our first podcast between sisters. I'm Laura.
And I'm Julie.
And today we are going to talk about sisterhood. And we're going to present ourselves and explain a bit what we want to share and what is our objective. And yeah.
Yeah. So, first of all, I'm so glad that my sister, we literally had a conversation about this yesterday. We went walking a little bit.
We went on a walk and it was storming outside. It was amazing. Like, the vibes were there.
Like, you know those summer nights and it's, you know, the storm is coming in and you can already smell the rain. And so we were walking and it was like full of energy. The sky is full of energy and, you know, there's going to be thunderstorms and everything. Mm-hmm. And so it was a vibe. It was a vibe. And so we discussed creating a podcast together, because I had gone a little bit on an adventure to try, but how fun would it be to have my sister with me and to like actually speak to someone? So I'm fully like excited to try this out.
I'm super excited too because I love sharing my thoughts. I feel like I have so many thoughts and I'm overwhelmed with stuff. So I just want to like talk with you because I feel like we have amazing conversations and literally like we FaceTime so much and every time we finish a FaceTime we're like, oh my god, this should be recorded because like the shit we talk about is crazy and we're just like, damn, that's so relatable and people might want to hear it. And honestly, like, disclaimer, we're not gurus, we're not Mahatma Gandhi. We don't know everything about like life, but we're just here to share our experiences and our thoughts, and if we make someone feel less sad or less lonely, then that's literally our only purpose.
Literally, yes, I have nothing to add to that. So yeah, what we wanted to call our podcast Sister Lines, because we kind of went off of this idea of like FaceTiming each other all the time or calling each other all the time, and both of us just back on this topic of like feeling low and wanting to make people feel a bit of joy or excitement or even take boredom away, anything on that topic. Both of us have felt quite low in our lives at points in our lives, which is normal, like everyone does, and we were there for each other in those points. I think we've seen everything, the whole literally spectrum of the emotions, and so Sister Lines just felt so adequate. So Sister Lines is the title of our podcast, and it's based off of that idea of a helpline, hotline, that kind of vibe, and we really resonated with that, and I like the idea.
We'll see. We're going with the vibe, honestly. Like, we're not planning, like, we are planning our episodes and stuff, but we're not, like, super crazy about them. Like, we're really going with the flow and seeing where it takes us. Yeah. So today's episode is about growing up together and like what it means to have a sister and how we've experienced it.
So we have prompts. That's why we're gonna be looking over there for like a little bit because
careful not showing your dogs too. So
no.
Keep them dogs away.
She's talking about my feet, by the way. I don't know.
They know what the fuck dogs are.
I don't look. We have okay. That's the other thing. We have a 2-year age gap.
Yeah. So I'm 20.
And I'm 22.
Yeah.
And so she will use words that I will feel like a millennial, even though I'm not a millennial, okay? She always says to me that I'm a millennial because I don't understand some of her words or her wordings or how she like turns her phrases. Donc,
she is a millennial, guys. Does the age gap have an impact on our relationship? I feel like it's amazing to have. I feel like 2-year gap is perfect. Like, I feel like we connect in different ways where if we had, like, a 7-year age gap, for example, we couldn't, like, really understand each other. And we have also a brother who's, like, 5 years younger than me. And I love him to death. But I feel like it's different because he's, like, really younger. And us two, I feel like we don't even feel the age gap. I don't know. Do you feel the age gap?
No. Not at all. My sister has a very old soul.
That's so weird to say.
So
guys, actually I'm 60 years old.
She's 60 inside. No, but she does have an old soul. Like, I've gone to my sister more for advice. Like, growing up, it was definitely, I was an older sister. We'll talk about all that. And I did have a bit of the power, let's say, or like the, dominance in the relationship, if we can say. But then the weight shifted sides a little bit, and since we've become adults, I do rely a lot on my sister, and I will
Basically, I'm her therapist. And I should be fucking paid for my hard labor. Because damn, it's not easy.
She's the best therapist in the whole world. I don't know what I would
guys,
do without her.
Come to me if you need a therapy session.
She's great. Honnêtement, she's great.
Honnêtement. People are going to be like, oh my gosh, Franglish, like. So how were we as kids? If we had to describe ourselves as kids.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So I was very, very shy. I didn't speak to anyone. I was scared all the time, and I would always cry. You know when they would do like those spectacles, like the shows at the end of the year? I would always cry and pull a tantrum because I didn't want to go on the fucking stage because I would be seen, and I was so afraid of that. And so I think I was a really good child. Like I was a very chill child, very quiet, very timid, very introverted. And it's crazy because when I tell people that, they're like, what the fuck? Are you serious? Like, you do not seem like that person at all. And it's true that I've really outgrown that. And I become who I am truly, which is more of an extrovert. And yeah, I feel like as a kid, would keep a lot to myself. And I would have friends, but I was very, very much a loner, I feel like. And also with the family. Like, I wouldn't really connect with my family when I was a child. But I was very much reserved and very much in my own like little bubble. Yeah.
Totally, yeah. And I was the opposite of that.
Literally, like we were literally opposites. It's crazy.
Polar opposites. I was a very loud child, very dominant in our relationship, in the sense that I would take on a lot of the attention from whoever was like interacting with us. And I like to be the center of, the attention. And at school, I had friends because I was very extroverted and I went towards them and I had playmates. And so things seemed to come more easy to me in terms of social interactions than for my sister.
And that's why also our dynamic was a bit more complicated because we weren't really on the same level, like on the same playing field, I want to say. She was more hyperactive and I was more reserved and calm. So we didn't really connect on this side of like our childhood. So, yeah, how was our dynamic when we were children?
Yeah, so our dynamic was heavily influenced by this like more calm, reserved child and more of a very energetic, in your face kind of child.
Oh girl, I would suffer.
She suffered. I suffered as well.
We all suffered.
So like this is what I think what is interesting is that like when people look at our relationship from the exterior, like some of my friends will say, oh my god, it's so nice that you're so close with your sister and you guys call so much and you seem like really close friends and you have a really established connection, because familial relationships can be really hard. Obviously you grow up with these people, they see your everything, and I think relationship dynamics within the family are complex and nuanced, and it totally depends on the parents as well and the tone they set for their children and how the children grow up in that family environment. And so for us, our family home did look like a little bit of chaos. It was a bit chaotic, and so that did transpire in our relationship as well. Totally. And so now when my friends say, oh my god, you guys seem to have such a close bond, they don't know that years and years and years of so many emotions it took. Like we're talking sadness, disappointment, frustration, disgust, hatred, anger, like jealousy. Like we went through a lot of emotions, we had a lot of phases. This is years in the making. Any relationship, if it's a true one and if you want to have a true foundation, is not just a walk in the park.
It requires a lot of hard work and a lot of patience, I feel like. Yeah. And being willing to open yourself up and like be vulnerable and be wanting to change if the person, and wanting to compromise, especially because I feel like we've had to compromise a lot. Um, and because I like shook you more to like being okay, this is not okay for me. I don't like the relationship. So it requires a lot of hard work. And I feel like we're not talking about the normal bickering like
in a sister,
in a sister or even like
sibling in a
siblings,
sibling
yeah,
relationship.
exactly.
This is we're talking about like deeper patterns.
Yeah.
We're talking
Because
about
bickering is normal, like feeling a bit jealous because one had bigger bar of Snickers than you, and like it's stupid and it's normal, and we've had that. But here we're more talking about like deep, like emotions that we felt that were like following us for so many years, and that was impacting our relationship. Okay, so our next question is if there was a turning point in our relationship and how did it look before and after? Because I feel like we really want to touch on specific emotions before our turning point.
So, I want to touch upon like maybe just a bit of a timeline. So, kindergarten, like preschool, school, and then secondary school up until now because we're both in university now. So, just a quick little history. I would say in kindergarten, we were, and school as well, we're going to put that in one, we were quite close in the sense that we were playmates. We would play with each other. And so, yeah, we would spend a lot of time together. We'd have our games and we'd enjoy each other's company. But in a social context, when we went out of the house and other children were involved, I would find my friends, find my friend group, and then I would push my sister away. And I was embarrassed to have a little sister that would tag along and would be friends with my friends. Because at that age she was quite young, and so it was harder for her to find friends, especially in the beginning because we moved to Croatia. We lived in Zagreb for the first 4 years of her life, and I was 2 to 6. So that kind of preschool, yeah, I just found friends and I pushed her away. And that continued then when we moved to Belgium as well. That continued on. And
how I felt it was that I saw my sister as a role model, and I feel like people who have older sister can relate to that. I feel like you see them as your role model and like as the thing to follow. Also because I feel like parents do kind of push that on you, like, oh, look at your bigger sister.
Comparison.
Yeah, comparison. And I would be so hurt. Bitch, how would you feel if your fucking role model would push you away and be like, I'm ashamed of that bitch. Like, I was so hurt. I was like, bro, okay, it's fine. You know what? It's okay. So at first I was trying, but then I like kind of took a step back. And
she tried for many years.
Yeah. And I found my friends. I was like, I was in acceptance. I was like, you know what? It's okay. I'm my own person. I'm just gonna find my own friends. And that's where I feel like I had no feelings towards you. I was just like, okay, she's my older sister, and that's it. How did you feel during that time?
Yeah, I'm gonna preface. We've talked through this. I've been to therapy for this. Like there's a lot of years of this in the making, but it's still hard in the present moment to hear those words. Obviously, I'm her older sister and she was my baby sister and we were children, and it's still hard for me to hear these things, and I still hold to this day shame and guilt and a bit of resentment towards myself, but you know, we're dealing with it. Yeah, so I was just like very scared of people and of social interactions, and so whenever I could find friends who liked me for whatever performance I was putting on, then I would grasp onto that, and my sister was not part of that.
Girl, get the
fuck out of here.
She's gone.
No, she's up there. Okay.
If we ignore her, it's fine.
Explanation. We're in summer. We're in the midst of summer. No, actually, no. No, it's so fat. It's so fat.
Okay, whatever. If we ignore it, Allez.
She's okay. I was trying to say that I was pushing my sister away for most of my childhood because I was embarrassed, or I didn't want her to tag along because it was like not cool to have her in the friend group, whatever. Why, I don't know. I can't go back into my childhood brain. I don't know why, but I just remember this feeling of like, no, like, you will make your friends, like, you're fine, you'll make your friends, but I have my friends and this is how it is. And I think that caused a lot of trauma and resentment in my sister that came to bite us back in the ass when we were teenagers, when the dynamic changed, and when my sister, after many years of trying with me, had then pulled back and had started to set boundaries with an unhealthy relationship with someone who was unhealthy with her. And so then when she was starting to set her boundaries and was starting to get to know herself and respect herself, then I would come back and be like, hold on a second, why are you not around me all the time? Why not? Like, why?
And it's so freaking confusing as the person who experienced that. I don't know if you ever experienced that. But, like, when someone is kind of mean to you, you take it very personally. And then she would come back and be like, oh, why aren't you hanging out with me? And being super sweet to me. And I was just, like, confused. Like, what the fuck do you want from me? Like,
yeah.
But I feel like some siblings have experienced that. I heard some stories. But I feel like it's very normalized. I don't know.
Yeah, to have that passive aggressiveness
yeah.
underlying, and then to have the older sibling kind of take the younger siblings for granted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you think you're on this pedestal, so there's like a certain weird ownership thing. And
guys, it's not normal, just to say.
Yeah,
it's not normal to have that kind of dynamic.
Well,
like,
it's hard to say normal. We don't want to make anyone feel bad with this.
Course, no.
It wasn't healthy for us.
Yeah.
We recognized it as not being healthy.
Totally, yeah.
So whatever...
Like, if you can cope with it, that's so good for you. And good for you. But it didn't work for us, so...
Yeah, we're just trying to share our experiences.
Yeah, of course.
And see how it resonates with other people. But yeah, and from my side, I will just say that I was very unconscious. I was very much in survival. I don't know if you know survival mechanism, but if you're familiar with the term, it's basically you're constantly in a fight or flight mode of being because you're basically driven by fear. And most of my actions and most of what I was doing was to validate my own existence, trying to feel validation wherever I could, trying to feel accepted, trying to feel like I was liked/loved. So I would push away people who I thought in my vision of the world did not fit in that. And with my sister, I think I was my most authentic version of myself with you. And I think that when I went out into the world, I put on a performance and I wasn't entirely myself, so I couldn't put those two worlds together. And maybe that's why I rejected her in these social contexts, because I just couldn't put the two together. And yeah.
What is something you would say to an older sibling that maybe recognizes themselves in that? If there's a smaller age gap, you were both like kids, and yeah, you were also a kid back then. So if an older sibling feels bad towards something they've done in the past to their younger siblings, what would you tell them?
Well, first of all, I would say that it's becoming conscious of that is really hard. Because if you are realizing that you're inflicting pain on your sibling and that there's some kind of unhealthy dynamic in the relationship, first of all, that's not an easy thing to do. It's not easy. It's a slap in the face. And I will say that you did a lot in that, because you set your boundaries and you got to know yourself as a person, and you got to know your limits, and you got to know what you were not okay with anymore. And then once the younger sibling kind of sets those boundaries, up to the older sibling to just listen, to just be there, to be present, and actually look at them and actually listen to them. Like, I feel like with younger siblings, they can feel like, yeah, again, you take them for granted. I took her for granted. It was like she was a thing that I could play with and then throw away when I wanted to. Literally, she was like my accessory, almost. Like, I'm trying to use really intense words here because I'm trying to paint a picture of how it was like and how I made you feel.
And that's literally how I felt back then.
And
So.
I validate that truth.
Yeah, absolutely.
I see that reality now.
And that made me feel so good and seen and validated. So as a older sister, like sibling for your younger sibling, I think voicing or acknowledging or validating your younger sibling's feelings is really important, and actually it helps a lot. And as a younger sibling, always talk. Like, never be scared, or never, like, just talk, communicate, say how you feel. Even if maybe the other party is not ready to hear what you're saying, at least you're trying, and at least you're expressing your feelings. So please do. And yeah.
Absolutely. I will totally back that. And this could be reversed, by the way. We don't know. This could be in any dynamic.
Yeah, of course.
Like, the dynamic could be reversed. This could be with a brother. Like, this is just our experience, but this works with any sibling relationship. This took years. It took years. She was communicating, she was expressing her boundaries, and when you start to know your boundaries and you just start to taste a bit of that feeling of knowing yourself, and this is too much for me and you're not good for me, it's going to come off radical. It's going to come off aggressive. It's going to come off violent. And so, of course, for the older sibling, it's seen as like an attack. And if you're not ready to hear those things, that you're going to personally feel attacked by that. And then
that's what we struggled with.
Oh my God, yes.
Like, so much. Like, the fact that she would take it so personally. And I would be like, no, you don't understand. This is just not okay for me. Like, I don't like this. This makes me feel like that. And she wouldn't really understand. And that was a real struggle for us.
That was a real struggle, because I was at a point where I didn't even understand the emotions that she went through. So there was a lot of underlying lower emotions like sadness, frustration, resentment, hatred, shame, that I had never allowed myself to feel. So I didn't really know what was going on with her. I was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You're removing yourself, and you're not even willing to engage in conversation and work on this, because that was my idea, was like heated conversation, like working on this and finding solutions and being really practical. And I was not at all in my emotions. I was not at all in an empathetic, understanding space. I was in a very resolute, we're going to find the solution. What are you talking about? And so it took many years, because she was communicating, I didn't understand, I took it personally, I was really sad about the whole thing, and you would get more and more resentment from that, and I would just push you away, basically.
Yeah. For us, that was our turning point, where it all went to shit.
Like, to shit.
And we were like, oh my God, we cannot continue. We have to do something. And there is a period of time where we took some time apart.
Yeah.
To...
just a break.
Yeah, just a little break. And it's totally healthy and it's fine. Like, if you communicate it. Taking a break, I think, really helped us a lot. And you grew in your own, like space. And yeah, so now we're still working on stuff, obviously. But it's so much better. Like, it's so much better.
But so what I will say for an older sibling is it's hard. It's tough. Because... when I realized the pain I inflicted on my little sister for so many years, and okay, I was a child, so I understand that. It's still hard. I still feel the shame. I still feel the guilt. I still feel like I let her down. I let myself down. I let our relationship down. I didn't know better. And I just want to say to any older sibling out there, whoever is watching this and can resonate with this, we are human beings and we're imperfect. And we do inflict pain, and we do cause suffering in people. It's inevitable. It's just a part of life. However, there is a crucial point here. It's recognizing that and being willing to take accountability for the reality that has happened. And this is not a one-sided reality. This is not the version of the experience that you had. This is the joint experience, talking, communicating about it, seeing where those emotions come from, how was the pain inflicted, why was the pain inflicted, and that requires actually looking at it, and actually, it feels like you're stripping yourself bare.
And also, the result of that is always positive, I feel like. If the other party is also mature enough or emotionally, like, ready, I feel like she had the cards in hand. Like, she could choose. I was just giving her the possibilities, and then she had to choose. Okay, I wanna do something. I wanna change, and so I feel like going through that only has positive like outcomes,
Yeah.
as you can see here. Like,
Yeah. It's about respecting each other as people. It's about you're not just family or this friend. It's no, I deeply respect you
as an individual.
as an individual.
Yeah.
It's not just that you're my little sister. It's like, I love your brain, I love your soul, I see the potential, I choose you as a person. It sounds so cringe. Okay, I'm sorry. It sounds so cringe, but it's true.
Yeah.
That was a phase that we went through, where I was like, no, I'm not losing this bitch. Like, she's too cool. Like, and then, yeah. And also therapy. It doesn't work for everyone, okay? People are very defensive sometimes about therapy. It doesn't work for everyone. But the second you recognize there's something, you identify there's something you want to work on with your sibling, and if there's anything that's really, really strong emotions coming up, talk to them about it. Yeah. Communicate, but please be kind and respect their boundaries. And if they're not ready to hear it, that's okay. Still communicate it, but trust in time. Really trust in timing, because it took us years. Like, what we can say, it's like 4 years, 5 years, this whole of really,
yeah, I think so, yeah,
4 or 5 years it took us. So, and we're still working. It's an ongoing process. It's not like, okay, we're done and this is it and we're besties now. It's an ongoing process. And so I'd say time, just time, and approach it with love and with good intentions.
Okay, so what is one thing you learned from me? Like, what is one thing we learned from each other?
I love this. I love this. My sister taught me to feel my emotions, and that it's okay to be imperfect. I think she taught me that humanity and love is within the messiness, or can be within the messiness, or the unstructuredness of the world, in the chaos. Like, when I feel messy or unstructured or not presentable in some type of fashion that I've put in my head that I have to be, then I'm unlovable. Then, like, if I'm not this curated version of myself, then no one's gonna love me. And she taught me that I could be ugly and disgusting and not have my shit together and be the messiest version of myself and still be loved.
Absolutely.
And that's
preach.
Not nothing.
What I learned from her is patience. a lot of patience. No, but actually, like, and it made me, I feel like it was hard, but you made me the person I am today. And you helped me a lot. And even though I don't say it so often, I feel like you are still my role model. And she made me like more, and like I would see her going off to uni and living all those experiences, and I was like, oh my god, I want to be like her, you know. And I don't know, she helped me to make me feel alive and to fully like live my life. And she was actually the person that helped me get out of most my most difficult periods. She was kind of my savior, so that's so cringe to say. That is so cringe. But yeah, like what I learned from her is really to live life, and she helped me become the person I am today, so I'm really grateful for her. If no one's watching, that's fine too. It was just for us. But if you're watching, I hope you enjoyed it. And we're really trying to be super authentic and like go with the flow, and we'll see what's gonna come next. And yeah.
I hope you liked it, and please share and like if you can. And this is a bit scary.
It's okay. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. And I think we're wanting to post like every 2 weeks.
Yeah. And
our next episode is going to be about a book, right?
Yeah.
The Power of Now. But that just a little teaser. If you're interested, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye, guys.